Alex out to set the intro video.
Hit the button.
All right.
Well, we're live anyway, so we'll catch you in a minute.
From the depths of the internet, my podcast did arise. A trio of loons with cigars in their eyes. They've invaded the world with their smoky surprise. The Cigar Loons, they're oh so wise. Lunatic invaders of the cigar world, spreading smoke and laughter, their stories unfold. From the finest blends to the wildest tales, the Cigar Loons never fail to prevail. With their witty banter and infectious glee, they've captured hearts, you see. They're more than just smokers, they're a family, united by cigars, a brotherhood free. Invaders of the cigar world, spreading smoke and laughter, their stories unfold. From the finest blends to the wildest tales, the Cigar Loons never fail to prevail. They've got the knowledge, the passion, the flair, a podcast powerhouse beyond compare. So light up a stogie and join the affair. The Cigar Loons are always there. Lunatic invaders of the cigar world, spreading smoke and laughter, their stories unfold. From the finest blends to the wildest tales, the Cigar Loons never fail to prevail.
What up?
What up, everybody?
Of course.
Get into grooving with that
Good
music.
evening, everyone, and welcome to the podcast. Of course, we are live from England and the United States, and it is the Cigar Loons episode. It's just the Loons tonight. We haven't got a guest this week. We had a great guest, of course, last week when we had Chili Moose on, and we had a great chat. And you know something, really enjoyed last week, and got some more interesting guests coming up next month. But tonight it's the Loons, and we're going to be talking about some topics that have popped up in the cigar industry with, of course, the generational bans over, of course, about the FDA and winning the case and stuff over infused cigars. Looking at, of course, the ban that they're trying to pass in Massachusetts. We might get down the rabbit hole because we've got our resident conspiracy theorist anyway, Grumpy. And we've got a new segment as well that Kate's going to be doing. But I think what we'll do, we'll kick into the segment that Kate's going to do for the very first part of the show. So we're going to kick into that, and then we'll kick into the rest of the stuff that we're going to talk about. So, Kate, I'm going to pass it over to you.
Really? You want to do this first?
Yeah.
Fuck it, man.
No time.
All
Big or
right.
go home.
So we like to bring you guys some value and entertainment, entertainment value. So we thought we'd do a fun little segment called the Jacked Up Lyrics segment. So these are lyrics that are not missaid or misspelled. These are lyrics that are just throughout history are just kind of wrong, you know. And we've all been singing these songs, but how often do you really listen to the lyrics? So I'm going to read the lyrics to you, and kind of go around, get your opinion and your synopsis of the song. And I started this off, and I picked this first one because it reminds me of our brother over there across the pond, Gaz. And so this song is a little bit before his time, but it goes back to March of 1990. It spent 2 weeks when it debuted. It spent 2 weeks at number 2 on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100 charts. Never made it to number 1. It did make it to number 1 in Australia. In the UK, it only made it to number 8. And that's by heart and the great Ann Wilson. And the Ropey, I know you're going to love this song too. So the title of the song is, it reminded me of Gaz, and then I thought, okay, this would be okay. But then it kind of got a little weird when he said, well, can I sing it with you? And I said, no, brother, we can't do that. So the title of this song is All I Want to Do Is Make Love to You. So, but it's just, and I know there was a lot going on back in the 90s because I was there. But man, this is, how many years have you been singing this song and not realizing what actually went on in this song? So it goes like this. I'm not going to sing it. I'm just going to read the lyrics. It was a rainy night when he came into sight, standing by the road, no umbrella, no coat. So I pulled up alongside and offered him a ride. He accepted with a smile, so we drove for a while. I didn't ask him his name, this lonely boy in the rain. Fate, tell me it's right. Is it love at first sight? Please don't take it wrong. Just stay for the night. All I want to do is make love to you. Say you will. Say you want me to. So it goes on, the chorus. All I want to do is make love to you. I've got loving arms to hold on to. And then it goes, so we found this hotel. It was a place Gaz and her knew well. We made magic that night. Oh, he did everything right. He brought the woman in me so many times, easily. And in the morning, when he awoke, all I left for him was a note. I told him, I am the flower, you are the seed. We walked in the garden, we planted a tree. Don't try to find me. Please don't you dare. Just live in my memory. You will always be there. And then it goes to the chorus again. All I want to do is make love to you. One night of love was all we knew. We made love like strangers, all night long. Then it happened one day. We came around the same way. Can you imagine his surprise when he saw his own eyes? I said, please understand. I'm in love with another man. But what he couldn't give me was the one little thing that you can. And then it goes into the final chorus.
My
all I want to love you. So,
I think it was a baby.
It's kind of messed up, I guess we can, Gaz. What do you think happened here?
I'm just reading the comments. So, love by heart made you think of Gaz. I wish you two the best of luck. Oh, Ben, I love you too, my brother. I love you too.
I mean, it sounds like he's a baby daddy, right? Am I wrong?
Poor bastard. He got used. He got used on a one-night stand. Yeah. And he didn't even know it. He had to go through his life not even knowing he had a baby child.
Damn.
No, but it's like used for a one-night stand.
Yeah, but think of all the money he saved.
Hang on, man. She uses you for sex, and then she doesn't even give you any money. She's going to leave $50 and say thank you for a good night. Fuck me, type bitch. And then she comes with a kid straight after.
Hold on, I've seen you, bud. You're accepting it for free.
Brother, I don't accept nothing for free.
It was the time period when that was written. You got to remember
the
that.
90s?
Mm-hmm.
The actual song.
The 90s, the free love?
How many? 90s wasn't free love. 90s was just a free for all.
Like, 90s
that was
90s
was back to 70s for that free love stuff. But yeah,
90s was getting fucked up with the old AIDS scandal. if you think 90s, the AIDS was coming out and everything.
Right.
We were seeing a lot of superstars with AIDS coming out, like Freddie.
She took
and
a
different
risk
ones.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did. So, I guess he looked all right enough to father a child. So, that was her. Instead of going to a sperm bank and, and doing it right, she just took the easy road and didn't cost her anything. So,
Yeah, it worked, I guess.
You know something? That's something.
Wanted to
that
keep it all
song sounds a bit
natural.
like my life. Because if you think about it, like I told you guys, I met a woman. I got her pregnant.
Oh boy.
I didn't know. Then I found out I got another daughter, and now she's 5. That song pretty much sums up what I got used for. But that was, of course, the jacked up lyrics.
So that is our jacked up lyric of the week. If you guys are gonna have to help me. I got a couple more in my back pocket here, but as we do, we're not gonna do this with a guest. My goodness, we're gonna spare the guest all this. But when it's just those loons, we'll bring out the give you a little entertainment. I got a good Garth Brooks one coming up here too, but
Lord.
You dance?
No,
I've
Of all
already
the
told you one.
You gonna do any David Allen Coe?
oh yeah, we can. Just give me and you guys can even do them too if you
There's
want.
there's some good ones out there. There's some real
Oh
good ones
yeah,
out there.
man. Red-headed cowboy.
The boss has at least one that's real questionable.
Did what?
The boss, Springsteen.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's got at least one real questionable song.
hey, I just while you're
Ooh,
on
I'm on
lyrics,
fire.
while you're on lyrics, if you don't think that they've been political for a while, just go
Oh my
back
God,
and
they've
pull
been
up
political
Red
for
Hot
fucking
Chili
ever.
Peppers. Man. Red Hot
Pull
Chili
up what?
Peppers. Red Hot Chili Peppers, and look at the lyrics of their song "Californication."
Yeah.
Oh my God! You know how
Tell you all
long?
about it,
I
man.
mean, fuck that. The song "Ohio."
Yeah.
The song, like so
Go
many
ahead and-
things. Anything Neil Young has done throughout his career has been political.
Yeah,
almost.
pretty much.
It's
Neil Young and Cat Stevens. If you look at some of what Cat Stevens came out with, Cat Stevens was becoming political.
Cat Stevens.
He was.
Fucking
Yeah,
Steven
Carly
Stills had his
Simon.
moments.
Carly Simon. You're
There's
so
a load
vain.
of there's a load of
Who
songs.
was she talking about?
Yeah, you're so vain. Probably think this song is about you. And then, of course, these boots are made for walking.
I think she was talking about Grump.
You got to look at you got to look at a lot of songs that were out there, and it's like "Ooh, I'm on Fire" by Bruce Springsteen, and just how
Hey,
that
little
starts.
girl.
Then kiss "Oh
Yeah.
Oh Daddy."
Hey, little girl.
Just listen to "Oh Daddy" by Fleetwood Mac. Oh Daddy. Why is she singing about
no
her daddy?
singing.
That song to me is more like a sex song, and it's going "Oh Daddy." So yeah, well, of course,
Now you're
that
dreaming.
was yeah. Where do we go from there? I need a drink.
I told you you wanted to start with that. I'm like, okay.
That's it, man. He done thrown the rock.
Each one of them.
We might as well just go right down the rabbit hole.
Have a laugh,
Fuck.
brother. I tell you what.
Yeah, them
we'll be
leaf
going
cutters
down
is here. We can go.
You know,
It's still flat.
you know something. When you look at what's going on at the moment in the whole cigar market, the cigar industry,
Mhm.
different rulings, you've got to have a laugh, because if you don't, you're going to end up being very, very depressed. I know we've had some wins. Well, we haven't, especially in England, but of course, on a whole for cigars, we've had a win with the FDA, of course, and gained that overturned with the infused cigars. And I'm going to start off on that one first. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go straight down to Matthew on this. What do you reckon of that FDA ruling that they couldn't get it out? And of course, Trump in a couple of days, and the amount of stuff he's got changed, and there's the infused cigars are still around. What's your take on that subject?
Well, I gotta be honest. I haven't been super vigilant about them because I've had other things going on. But it sounds like it went sort of in our way, from what I've heard.
Yep.
As far as all the things Trump has done so far, I'm gonna not comment, good or bad, because I like to be on the internet. Go to somebody that has paid attention better, please.
Well, when you look at it, it was basically brought up about, of course, handmade cigars, premium cigars in the industry, and the long-standing battle with the FDA over regulations. Of course,
Right.
the United States of the Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia shut down the FDA's appeal, which was a sought-out overturn of the 2023 ruling, name it, of the State District of Columbia and the ruling against the FDA. Now, when you look at it, it got overturned, which is a great win in my eyes from what I know.
Sure.
Of course, a lot of it, they had, of course, JC Newman there fighting it and different things. And you've got to look, it's a great win because, okay, I know we smoke normal cigars. We don't smoke infused. Sure. Now look at the other people that we know who enjoy an infused cigar. Them people would lose infused cigars if that ruling had come into place. What then would they have gone and smoked if they enjoyed infused?
Well,
like we all know, we shouldn't have cigars labelled in with every fucking else that's out there. Smoking product, it should be separate. But go on, Matthew, sorry.
I was going to say there are other states I think that have infused tobacco outlawed already. Because I know some. Let's see. Massachusetts was the first one to restrict sale of flavored tobacco.
Massachusetts is trying to bring in a generational ban, which we'll be going into.
Well, they already made flavored tobacco illegal. Currently, California, Massachusetts, New Jersey, New York, Rhode Island, and Utah restrict flavored tobacco. So,
it's a hard sell. It's a hard sell when you think of it. There's the amount of people that enjoy infused cigars, the companies that make infused cigars. It's a hard one. But what we'll do, we'll go up, of course, to Grumpy. Then we'll go down to Jess, and then we'll go back up to Kit. So, Grump, what's your take on, of course, the ruling and the FDA not being able to get it put into power and it getting overturned and infused cigars now being protected a little bit more? What's your point on it? What do you think? Good win? Or do you reckon we all knew it was going to be coming anyway? What's your take on it?
Well, we've seen a lot of this nonsense coming for a while now. They hadn't really been very secretive about what they were trying to do. They've always been right out there. But, when, and I know there's a lot of different infusions, I understand that, but there's one company comes to mind, when you mention infused, because they probably have the largest line of infused cigars. I don't know, but I would guess they do. But, and it's not really a line that, those I don't care for. But now they do have a line that is supposedly somewhat infused that is good. But, I don't think that, I don't think it's really going to get anywhere. And if I can, offer a suggestion to any of the, officials, politicians, or whoever out there, that may need to catch hold of this idea, if you're a cigar enjoyer or whatever, and I think we should label these, cigars. I think they should be labeled as consumable art.
I like it.
Just my opinion. I mean, you look at it. We always talk about it. It's a work of love. It's a work of labor. It's an art to roll a cigar, you know,
Mhm.
and all of that, and we consume them. So the roller, the growers, the rollers, they all put their efforts into that piece of artwork, and we consume it. So call it consumable art. Separate it from all that other nonsense, and let's move ahead. Stop bickering about infused, not infused, who can smoke, who can't smoke, and that's even for you guys over there, man. That generational thing, look at all the people that are never
which will be
never gonna fit into it because they didn't put a cap on it of any kind. So you got people over there, that generational band, they never gonna catch up to it. So they never gonna get to enjoy any consumable art.
Well, like I say, we'll be getting more into that generational ban because there's a lot look into this generational ban, and it's not only just
Demon Cigar Collective.
England. Of course, you got India, you got Hawaii, of course, you got Massachusetts that are on about doing it. But of course, we'll get on to Jess and get his take on, of course, the infusion thing being outwritten and basically chucked out, of course, the Supreme Court in the US. What's your take on it, Jess, about it being overturned?
It's a good thing. It's a good thing, in my eyes, just because, just like everything else, in the cigar industry, we don't put, crap into our cigars, and an infusion is not necessarily putting anything into the cigar. It is just letting one thing flavor another in a non, how do I say, chemical way, I guess, and it has nothing to do with, vapes. It has nothing to do with any of the other things that are out there that are flavored through other chemical processes, So I think it's a good thing that got passed. It puts cigars once again in a different place from any other tobacco product where it should be. And
It's
go ahead.
it's one of them. You know something? I think it's great that it got overturned. And
Mhm.
my biggest thing is, like we've always said, and I said it earlier, they've even shown the medical studies in
Mhm.
the Supreme Court. They've showed it. They showed it to the FDA, and they've shown there's basically one cigar a day or 3 cigars a day does not cause any cancers of the mouth if you're a
Nope.
cigarette smoker or you're, of course, chewing tobacco. Then it can cause the mouth cancers. They've shown the medical research. They've shown the studies. So why carry on putting cigars in the same category as vapes that can cause popcorn lung? Put
Right.
it into the same category as cigarettes. Put it in the same category as hookah. You don't put it in the same category. It's a different thing. We know it's a natural process, and as
Yeah,
we
it's
know with
completely
infused
different.
cigars, it's a natural infusion. It's no added chemicals. It's a natural infusion,
Mhm.
and this is the thing. But Kurt, we go up to you. What's your take on this, my brother?
Well, I think you got to go back to ask, why are they trying to do this? And I think the premises behind their argument, as far as the flavored cigars, is that they're attractive to teenagers, the underage smoker. And all you got to do is just a nano bit of research, and you will find out that's not the case. It's never
Mhm.
been the case. It's not like you got 4 kids skipping school in 10th grade, and they're passing around a Cuba Cuba. I mean, it doesn't happen. There's no draw, and this is and it's an insult to the cigar man. This is a premium hand rolled cigar. Yeah, I get the Black and Milds and the whatever at the gas station
Right.
that they're using for other purposes. But my goodness, I mean, it doesn't take a rocket science to figure out that flavored cigars are not attractive to the underage smoker. It doesn't make
I mean,
a
just-
lick of sense to me.
I mean, cigars in general. Cigars in general. That you don't see any kid out there going, "Ooh, I want to smoke a cigar."
No,
I've
but
never seen
you know
one.
something. You know something. Even if we sit right now and we talk about it, just look at the analysis what we get every week of the show going live and is doing it through YouTube. It tells us what the age watches. And don't get me wrong, of course, even in the UK at the moment, before the law gets passed, it's 18. We're getting maybe 5% that's watching that are 18-year-olds, going up to 19. Basically, the age ranges where we're hitting on cigars is from 21 going up to 45 to 65. We're hitting them markers, so you've only got to look, and you could do it where you go into the cigar lounge and have people sitting in there and writing a chart of how old the person is, how old would they look to you. So, oh, this person might look 50 or they look 60. Put a mark down. Then once you've got all that statistics of how many people are going in and buying cigars, the age ranges, you know straight away. You're not getting a child that's going and getting a cigar or a child that's asking somebody outside the shop, like we used to get when we used to ask a grown-up go and get his cigarettes. They're into child outside the shop going, please, sir, or please, can you get me acid, or can you get me a Christoph Lajero? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
You know,
Excuse-
the thing about it is, you know, the biggest thing that you do see children go for is usually alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
That's usually what you see.
Easier.
You know, when you were in high school, yeah, there was that kid with the beer. There was that kid that stole
Yeah.
dad's flask. You know, like, but they don't put any of those laws or anything like that to alcohol. And look at the amount of flavored things that there is out there for alcohol. I mean, some of this stuff might as well be juice, but they want to
Mystery
put that
sugar.
onto something
Yeah.
that, you
Well,
know,
you've only got to
like
look at-
cigars, that doesn't even apply.
Yeah.
I was in the grocery store the other day, and
the vapes, ain't you?
I was in the grocery store the other day, and they had this Mountain
Yeah,
Dew,
go
and it was like it was Mountain Dew with alcohol in it. And I almost picked it
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
I
By
got some in the fridge. It's good.
But when you think
Yeah,
but when you think about the amount of money that has been wasted going after this and the lawsuits and stuff, why not
Oh, yeah.
put the money into some education, some more research, and just try to come? I don't know, man. It and maybe I'm getting too old where I just can't. It baffles me. You know, I just don't understand it. I have a hard time wrapping my head around it.
Yeah, I'm with you
Yeah.
on that.
It's-
Mm-hmm.
you look at it, and you know, as we all know, alcohol's always been a big thing. With
Mm-hmm.
kids trying it, and of course, as grown-ups, basically, we always say, you want to maybe try it, then try it at home so we can keep an eye on you when they're old enough, or you give them a little sip at a party. It happened. I had a sip of beer when I was about 4 at a family party. There's a picture of me. Got me hair like Bart Simpson, dressed in my Bart Simpson dungarees, and I got a pint glass and I'm having a sip.
Which we
Well,
do
you know-
not condone.
Well, think about
Officially,
it.
we do not
condone it,
condone that.
We just
Well, think about it
Especially
this
at
way
the age
here.
of 4.
about it. We don't condone it.
You know, think about it here, like in Washington, for example, here in the state of Washington. You know, if in anywhere in the country you give a cigarette, a cigar, or anything to an underage person, you're in big doo doo, right?
Mhm.
And there is no, you're not getting addicted. You're not doing any of that crap with this. You're not becoming a person who needs to go to meetings because of a cigar. Now, alcohol, yes, you become an alcoholic. You ruin your entire life. But yet, here in the state of Washington, if your child is 16 and
Mhm.
your child is at home with the parents, I can legally give them alcohol.
Hey, in Ohio, if you're in a restaurant with your kid, you can legally buy them a drink.
Yeah, see, and that's
Same here
But
in
that's the
England.
kind of things that, it's like these laws are so backwards,
Hey,
you
hey,
know?
before I have to take the label off, I wanted to show Kurt. Look, twins.
Oh, there you go. That's a good cigar, brother, man. I love those.
Yeah.
You
Me
turned me on to
too, me
those.
too. Sorry. Move
So
on.
here in England, right? If you take your child into a restaurant and you're having food, because of the old laws of how they are in England, that child can have an alcohol beverage with their food. So they can either have a beer, a glass of wine. I don't think spirits are included. You can't have a spirit, but a
No.
glass of wine or a beer or a cider is included.
Yeah.
But
Can I get my
See-
kid
some
a
of the
meat
old
fork,
laws.
please?
See, and here
Thing
it's
is, what you've
crazy
got to
because it doesn't matter what you give them. If it's under your roof, you give them whatever you want. And if they're 16, it's legal. And it's, to me, it's crazy.
Well,
It's
as we
just
know-
crazy.
Yeah, but as we know, right? Look at all the vapes when they've got the cartoon characters on the vapes. They've either got a mushroom on them smiling, or they've got some kind of weird cartoon character. Them are the things that need to be banned because how
Yeah.
can you
They-
have them where children are getting them? They are the most addictive things going. Because you
Yep.
are chasing the dragon non-stop. Puff, 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 puff.
Mm-hmm. It's
We
like
have
I don't know
we have a
about
cigar,
over
we
there,
might
but
have
over
one.
here we got some new vapes that came out that have a screen and they light up and they have fissures, and then it's like,
Yep.
why? Why have all that? That's not the person who's addicted to the nicotine that's going for those things don't really care about that. So who are you advertising to then when you're
Oh,
doing
I don't
those
know.
Younger
things?
audience.
Stoners love that shit,
Younger
dude.
audience.
Come on. You love looking at it
thing-
like, man,
the
that's
thing
fucking
is-
cool.
Yeah.
The thing is,
Yeah.
you've only got to look at one of the vapes that was over here, and it was Mars Attacks, and it lights up. It got the Mars Attacks character. It lit all underneath, and it was like over 2,000 puffs in it. But it was one of them that was under the counter job. And what we're seeing over here is the bigger high end vapes that go past the 2,000, 4,000 puffs. They're all under the counter. And if you go in, the shop will sell you because they want the sale at the end of the day. They want the money.
Oh yeah,
And it's
absolutely.
crazy. Anyway, we're gonna go off that bit of a subject and we're gonna go into this generational ban. So of course, as we know at the moment in England, and from discussing it quite a bit, the Conservative Party that was originally in, which was Rishi Sunak, was trying to pass the bill in 2023, which was to bring in this generational, of course, ban on all tobacco. And basically, of course, anyone born before the 1st of January 2009, they won't be able to buy, of course, tobacco products. So they won't be able to buy cigars, cigarettes, they won't be able to have anything. Now, what they're trying to do, when it was first voted in the Houses of Parliament, there was a vote of 415 to 47, in favour of the bill. So you had 47 smokers there that didn't want it out of 415. So it went to the Commons committee stage. It's set for a vote again in the House of Commons, which was later that month, of course, being passed. Now, what's going to be happening here? There's going to be a committee proceeding week, which is going to be the 30th of January. And the bill will then return to the Commons floor, where additional voting will follow. If it's passed, of course, then we're going to see as the age goes up, and the age will go from 18 to 19, and then every year it will increase. My biggest thing on this is, like I've already said to you, 2030, England is on about it being a no smoking place. So there's going to be no smoking whatsoever in the UK. They're on about trying to get rid of it. It's very hard for me because you've only got to look at anything to do with smoking or alcohol. It's our biggest tax earner here in the UK. Once you've got rid of tobacco, you've got rid of alcohol, what they're going to tax you on next. And
Mm-hmm.
like I said, you've only got to look at the companies. You're going to lose companies that have been in the tobacco industry for years that are a mum and pop shop, you're going to lose them. They're going to have to then retrain the staff. It's going to be staff out of work, different things. The shops, your little corner shop, isn't going to probably open anymore. There's the old man down the road that go there, he'd pick up a pack of cigarettes and go home, and that would be his day out. A lot of businesses are going to suffer. And what we're also seeing now is the fact of Hawaii trying to do it, and also India. But if you look at New Zealand brought it in and then overturned it. Why
2 years
did New
later.
Zealand overturn it? Yeah, New
Because they
Zealand
needed tax
overturned
money.
it because at the end of the
They
day,
woke up.
they needed the tax money. They did.
Yep.
And I can't see this working. But then you've also got to look at the fact of Massachusetts now. They're trying to bring in a general ban and trying to do the same as England. So my question is to you guys, and I'm going to start off with Kurt on this, and then Kurt can pass it around. Do you reckon this generational ban is a good thing to stop people under 14 from smoking? Do you reckon there's basically it will hit the States like they're trying to pass it in the States? Or do you reckon it's going to be one of these things, they'll try and do it, and it'll just go bump, and it'll be overturned within 2 years? So, Kurt, I'm going to go to you. What do you reckon?
It doesn't make any sense to me. I think it's going to be overturned. I think it's another. They're trying the front door, the side door, the back door. This is just another avenue for them to try to get in there and screw things up, stick a stick in the spoke. It doesn't make sense to me. And nothing against the people in Massachusetts, but it's a little state up there. It's a tiny little state. So they really don't have a lot of influence as far as, I mean, look at the size of California. All these states that are doing this, I think those are the ones that have the highest taxes on tobacco. So where's this revenue going to come from? They're shooting themselves in the foot, and I don't think they realize it, or I don't get it. It doesn't even make sense to me. You got all this money coming in from the taxes. If if we find out 30 years from now, these actually killed us, but it's up to us. We are adults. We make informed decisions. And for me, and I don't think, I guess my question is, where are all the highfalutin judges and lawyers and stuff that are sitting in these rooms with their bourbon and their cigars that are enjoying this? And they understand it's not about the nicotine in this. It's about the relaxation. It's about our group here, the camaraderie, the friendships that we have. And for me, whether I'm smoking with you guys or not, when I come home from work, whether I'm smoking my pipe or my cigar, this is my relaxation.
Yeah.
And that's what I choose to do. And I've got a wife that supports it. I smoke outside, but she lets me have my time out here to relax, and I'm a better person for it. So,
Right.
That's right.
Well,
that's all I got to say.
All I can say. We'll go over
That's all I have to
to
say
Porch,
about
Grumpy.
that.
And we'll get your take. We'll get your take on it, Grump. We will.
well,
What's your take
I'm
on
in this-
this?
I'm in the same ballpark with Kurt, man. It's totally ridiculous. Those guys over there in your part of the world are gonna just like
New Zealand.
There you go. It wouldn't roll out.
Yep.
But see, it didn't take them long at all to realize they stuck their foot in their mouth. They got rid of it. And it's not
2
going to be
years.
that long.
2 years.
Huh? Yeah. So, I mean, that was a rough 2 years.
2 years
but
it took for New Zealand.
it took them a minute to wake up.
Yeah.
I don't think, it's like Kurt said, was talking about, you got to look at all the people in the U.S., your corporate CEOs, your judges, all of these people that are around all the lawmaking and stuff that enjoy a good cigar, and I'm not sure what percentage of U.S. tax money comes in off of these, but and I doubt but now individual states, just like Kurt said, California, Massachusetts, And I don't, not to
New
go
York
in the
well.
political spectrum or nothing, but
New York is the worst.
both of those are blue states,
Yeah.
And here lately, I've seen a lot of craziness coming out of a lot of places, but I don't think this is going to go anywhere over here. I don't think it's going to get any traction over here at all. And the ones just like you over there, Gaz, where they get a large amount of tax money from it, it may take them a minute to wake up, but I think they're going to wake up and get rid of that.
What do you think about Hawaii, though? What do you think about Hawaii, though, Grump? And Hawaii China?
Well,
what do you reckon on Hawaii over this one?
Well, like I say, it's if they do it state, if they make it an individual state choice to do whatever, then it's going to be up to the people in the state of Hawaii to get off their duff and go vote or whatever. I don't think they could bring it in there without some kind of vote on it. I mean, surely,
Right.
And if you give the people,
it's got to be passed on. It's got to be voted on.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, these individual states want to go do it, they'll figure out.
Yeah.
Just like New Zealand.
It just makes me.
Yeah.
Makes me wonder when they take away smoking, they take away, of course, alcohol next. And we know alcohol's a big killer, like gambling and stuff.
They're not doing that again. They tried it once. It went real bad.
Where they going to tax us next? This is the thing with me. It's like, where they're going to tax us next? Because, as we know, even in the States, even here, food prices at the moment have gone through the roof. And we're paying more for groceries now than we ever paid a couple of years back. Especially here in England, we're paying more because we're not in the European Union. And we used to have a lot of stuff that used to come in from France, Germany, and the other countries that were there. Now everything's, of course, homegrown in England. And of course, we have bad weather where we lose a crop or, of course, different things. It just makes me wonder where that next tax income is coming from. Because as we know, it's a big tax earner. I reckon start doing more on the alcohol problem. Start doing more on that. Segregate cigars away from the other smoking products. Take more action on cigarettes. Take more action on vapes. Look at the medical research, because as you guys know, medical research is always in the court of law in the States. It's always brought up against the FDA. Here in England, there isn't no lobbying. There isn't Cigar Rights of America. The Cigar Rights of the world, but not many people are in that group in England. If they were, then of course they could fight down in Parliament and say, well, look, here's the facts and the figures. Just look at the study cases of thoracic surgeons that have done surgery on people that smoke cigarettes, not people that smoke cigars. And it's crazy. But what I'm going to do, we'll get down, of course, to Matthew and get your take on it, Matthew, and then we'll go over to Jess and get Jesse's take on it.
Yeah, I mean, it's to me, it's like any major ban on any one product. Like Kurt said, we're adults. We make an informed decision on something we enjoy, and who's I don't agree with them banning things like that. I mean, outside of things that can instantly kill you, like some of the harder hitting drugs, I don't think anything should be illegal. Like, we're adults. We're able to. I mean, there should be regulation. There should be laws to protect, young people from getting involved in stuff. But that's a big difference than just banning something outright. And I think that's it's a dangerous, slippery slope.
I think I think if they cared about the health of the American population, and Gaz over there, I don't know how big of a problem it is over there, but they need to start looking at the double quarter pounder, man. I mean, how many people is that? How many of those are killing people every day?
Yeah.
So,
and all the other bullshit chemicals they allow in our food.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love the double quarter pounder just as much as anybody else, but it's out of control.
about one a month, though. You know, about all you want to cram in your body is about one a month. You know,
If that.
Yeah.
But of course, we'll go over to Jess now and get Jess's take on it, and then we're gonna explore some other stuff and go down the rabbit hole a little bit and talk about some new cigars and stuff. But of course, we'll go over to Jess and get your take, Jess, on this.
Yeah, this whole generational thing is, besides it just, in my opinion, being something, what's the word? Selfish, right? That's the way I see it. I see it as something selfish, coming from people that don't understand it nor care to understand it. Because if they understood it, then they would see the facts. They would know exactly what is and what isn't. And the fact is that it's not harmful to you like they want to put it. And the taxes, that come off of these things, like, like we said, like New York, highest tax on tobacco product in the nation, and they're raising it again. You know, where do you think you're going to get that money from once you get rid of all the tobacco? And it's just dumb. I don't understand it. I don't want to understand it. And I just hope that, somewhere down the line, it does get overturned and somebody wakes up and looks at the facts.
Hmm.
Well, when you look at it, it's 75% tax in New York, and if they pass this new bill, it'll go up to 95%.
Which is
In
ridiculous.
New York,
That is a
it's crazy when you look
ridiculous.
at that. It said,
I'm hit
you know
out.
something. You go to 95%. It currently now, of course, is 75, and this is like a progressive model. If it comes more demanding to the buyer as the price of cigars goes up, it'll go. And this is what you imagine. So basically, the new proposal would be in action. It'd be $12 a cigar, meaning a smoke with a $6 wholesale value price. In the state of New York, the tax would be $5.70, so a $16 cigar with a wholesale price of $8, which would have then another $7.60 in tobacco taxes, and a $20 cigar would have a $10 wholesale value, with the tax
Yeah.
going up on a $20 cigar to $9.50. And the same on cigarettes. If you get a 20-pack, right, cigarettes, $5.37, for example. So then you look at it with the 95%, that's how much it's going to be. And it's crazy when you think of these big taxes. If it gets past there, then where are they going to hit next? Are they going to come over and hit Florida with no tax? Are they then going to go over to Georgia, where Georgia at the moment a 23% tax? Are they going to try and hit Georgia up for more in all the different states? It's just crazy when you look at it. And I think we're in a very, very crazy world at the moment with what's being trying to be passed here in England, what's being trying to be passed in the States.
Controllers.
And
Yeah.
it is like they're trying to control what we can do and basically
Yeah.
That's all it is. That's
make it
all it
possible.
is.
And the thing is, like Kate said, and like we've all said, we're grown ass adults. We want to make the choices ourselves. If we want to have an alcohol drink, we'll have
Mhm.
alcohol drink. If we want to have a smoke, we'll have a smoke. If
I mean,
we want
when
to
you're
do
dying, right? You're dying of
something
liver
else, then we go
failure.
and do something else.
Yeah.
Dying of liver failure, and the doctor tells you, "Hey, the alcohol is killing you." What
Yeah,
do?
so liver,
You're an
dude.
adult, and you go, "Fuck it, I drink it anyways," right? I mean, I don't know.
But anyway,
I'm
what we're
gonna
going to do,
start-
of course, we didn't go into it on about what cigars we're smoking. But go on, Grump, say what you got to say, my brother.
I was just gonna when they start all this crap about trying to get rid of cigars and everything like that, if they start that over here, I'm gonna tell them they're messing with one of my unalienable rights. My pursuit to happiness, man.
That's
Life,
right.
liberty.
Hey.
This makes me happy. leave my unalienable rights alone. And another thing that
So
ticks
what we
me off
smoke-
about a lot of this age stuff, and I'll be done. I'll shut up.
That's
The one thing that ticks me off about this age stuff, and I lied about that shut up part, is our boys and girls in the military, man. You want to put
Yep.
a gun in their hands at 18 years old. You want to train them, and you want to send them off somewhere to do your dirty work. But they can't walk in a bar in the United States and sit down and have a drink.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously?
It's,
I mean,
Yes, sir.
it is crazy.
that
It is
irks
crazy when
me,
you think
man.
on that.
Yeah, that irks me all the way around.
And I understand that. I do understand that. It's a crazy thing. But anyway, of course, we're going to go into what we're smoking tonight. So I've got, of course, the Christoph Lajero, and basically it's a Robusto size. So that's what I'm smoking. Kurt, what did you pull out tonight as we're sitting and chatting?
For our little session here, I've got my favorite CAO, the session, which I've had a plug
Very
in
nice.
it, which I'm a little
Nice.
disappointed. But I've gotten past the plug and I'm chugging along fine now. But I was a little irritated.
And of course, we'll save Grumpy for last on the cigar because it's going to lead me into another segment. But Matthew, what have you got, my brother? What are you smoking tonight?
I have one of my favorites, the Man of War Ruination.
Yeah.
It's
There you go.
absolute
Mhm.
Yeah.
bomb of flavor and just
that-
amazing.
Yep. And Jess, what have you pulled out tonight, my brother?
Oh, I am smoking the 2023 La Gloria Cubana Society cigar.
Very nice. And then, of course, we'll go up to Grumpy and we'll find out what Grumpy's smoking. And then, of course, we're going to go into this other segment. So, Grump, what have you got tonight, my brother?
It is the United, had the little fuse like a dynamite stick, and it's the Firecracker,
The Firecracker.
3.5 by 50.
So, of
I
course,
hadn't knocked the ash off
yeah.
yet.
Yeah. So what's coming out? What's coming out now is J.C. Newman and United Cigars have made another Firecracker, and it's going to be a limited release, and it's called Al Baton, and basically that's coming out. Of course, United Cigars have also done a McAuliffe Black Firecracker. That's come
Yes.
out. But Grump, what are you thinking of that Firecracker? That, of course, you all got sent. I know the rest of the guys are still great, but what do you reckon of it?
Well, I will say that it's peppery, a little spicy. It's very good though. I believe, just my opinion, but
Yep.
like I said, it's good. But I believe it was a little bit overhyped. I mean, you know, it's a nice spicy cigar. Got, you know, good flavor to it. Ain't a thing wrong with it. But I was expecting, you know, another one of those experiences, you know, similar to the napalm,
M81.
similar to that M81. You know, I was expecting something more in that ballpark with this. It's not as detrimental to your health as those two are. But it's not. If you wasn't here at night, you missed it. But no, it's an excellent little cigar. Don't get me wrong, man. It's an excellent little cigar. But I think it was just a tad bit overhyped as far as the power goes.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's
You know
my
something?
opinion.
This is the thing. There's a lot, and I just want to say, of course, hello to everyone that's watching us over on Instagram, and also, of course, on Rumble, and hello to, of course, HDA Cigars, hello, of course, to AJ Cigar Guy, which is Andrew, that's watching, and everyone. And
What's good? What's good?
Watching us on YouTube. Yeah. So we hope you're all having a great evening and staying smoky like us. But we're going to go down the rabbit hole now. So, of course, we've seen this, of course, with Mr. Trump, old President Trump. He's going to be releasing, of course, the documented files on the assassination of JFK. Now, do you reckon it's going to prove this was an inside job, or do you reckon it's still what they've been stating for all these years? So, Grump, I'm going to go straight with you first, my brother, on this, because I know you like this kind of stuff. And that's why I'm going to go straight to you.
Well,
Yep.
I hadn't read any of it yet, other than what I've just, been into rabbit holes and searched out and stuff like that. But some of the things that the driver did it. The damn driver did it.
Old Leach.
Yeah.
Leach to his normal
The
tricks.
driver did it. I'm telling you now. And the reason I say this,
Pancakes is laughing his arse off. Yes.
I was 5 years old when that happened in '63. I was 5 years old. I was laying in the living room floor watching it live on TV. When the man got hit, he got hit in the right side of the forehead. Boom, popped like an apple. The Warren Commission says he got hit in the back of the head from that book depository, which they all have proved already that was impossible. It couldn't have been done, And there's a dude now on TikTok. I can't remember his name, but he was one of them that was in the political deals back then. He was trying to claim he's the one that did it. But where he messed up, and he was explaining how he went, the grassy knoll and all this BS and everything else. Okay. He says he hit him in the left side of the forehead. Liar. Yeah, hit the right side of the forehead. You're a fake. So, yeah, the magic bullet theory. Yeah, DEA.
Yeah.
Exactly. The bouncing ball. But yeah, they're gonna find out. Yeah, it was an inside job.
Yeah.
And it was an inside job. Huh?
The driver did it.
Yeah, the driver did it.
DA's coming.
And the reason they got rid of him was because they couldn't get him to continue the line of wars that the CIA was wanting to continue. Kennedy was aware of who they were and what they were, and he made the statement that he was going to eradicate the CIA. And Lyndon Johnson called the shot. So, there you go. There's my conspiracy theory
about this. It's
LBJ
a crazy thing because you look at it. Why was it this JFK's missus was trying to get out of the car so quick?
Yeah.
And for the blood splatter of how she got it from, of course, what happened to JFK doesn't ring bells to me whatsoever. Even watching the video and seeing it on, of course, YouTube and different places, it's crazy. And I think there's going to be a lot to come out. But are we going to see the whole document, or is the document going to be patched up, cut out, and they're just going to release what we need to know and not the full story? In my eyes,
the film was doctored, and they caught that being doctored because when it showed them coming by the grassy knoll, the tree that was sitting there, you only saw the top part of that tree. You didn't see it all the way to the ground. And you only saw the tree was cut off. Yep. That was in the doctored film. You see the real film, there ain't no half a tree. They don't drive past no half a tree floating in midair.
What?
Yeah. Watch it close. When they doctored it, they chopped that tree off about halfway. It's just kind of floating in the air. Yeah, redacted. Very redacted.
The thing is, you look at a lot of things, what they've chopped out. You've only got to look at the moon landing, but that's a different subject.
Oh, let's go there.
Oh, boy.
Thought we already went over that one.
I don't know if the Leaf Gutter guys are still here, but I think there's going to be a lot. You look at a lot of what's going to be coming out over the JFK, of course, Martin Luther King. We're going to get them files finally, and I think we're going to see a hell of a lot in the music industry. Now, do you reckon there's and this has been the biggest conspiracy theory for years. Do you reckon there was underground tunnels that led from the Playboy Mansion to Jay-Z's house? Because
Oh,
I remember
shit.
an interview once, and it had Dustin Hoffman on it. It had Jack Nicholson, and they were talking about the jacuzzi. And Dustin Hoffman slipped up and said, "Oh yeah, we used to go through the tunnels to get into the Playboy Mansion." Now
Yeah.
look at the fires what have just gone on. How come Mel Gibson's house burned down? How come Jay-Z's didn't burn down? How come, of course, P. Diddy's didn't come down? People are saying that was done to try and get rid of the pizza boxes and
Yeah.
stuff. So,
Yeah.
what do you reckon on this, Kate? And then pass it around, my brother, and we'll talk about this one.
Well, I think there's a stay tuned. I think there's going to be, I don't know.
Exactly.
There'll be more stuff to come out, but I think you're going to have to read between the lines a little bit because I think it's going to be, they're going to spin it whatever way they want, whatever they want us to know or believe. But I mean, it may be big enough where we do get some truth to it. So we'll just have to wait and see. I mean, it was a big deal that, all this is going down. So we'll see where it goes. But, who knows, man? We just have to stay tuned.
Yeah. Oh, it's gonna come out.
Matthew, what do you reckon?
Oh boy. So there was I don't know about the Mel Gibson part because he actually seemed distraught that his house burned down, but a lot of the other people were like,
There you go, D.
like I was on vacation and then my house burned down, and that was a real bummer.
Yeah.
So those people, maybe they got something to hide. I don't know.
Yeah, they do.
I think just about everybody in Hollywood has something to hide, and it's one big
I'm right,
pile
Rich.
of
You're probably right.
hell.
Yeah,
Bill
you know
Clinton.
something like DA said. 2026 Olympics, they needed something to build, and you've only got to look at Mel Gibson for the years in the entertainment industry and what he spoke about of these underground rings, doing what they're doing, celebrities being involved in it, and how his career was flourishing. To then he couldn't get film deals, and he had to go and make his own film studio and do these films. It's crazy.
Well, that
but
right there is
Jess,
a good example of he started turning on the elite, and all of a sudden he was crazy. Same thing happened to Kanye. Same thing happens with any celebrity that starts talking about what everybody else is doing. All of a sudden, they go fucking nuts. I wonder why that happens.
Yep. Jess, what's your take on this? What do you reckon, my brother?
Oh man, I don't know. I think regardless of what comes out, we'll never get the truth. At least not all of it. They're always going to hide things. They're going to give us just enough for the public to be content. But they're not going to give us the whole truth. That'll never happen.
You know something famous line, isn't there? You can't handle the truth.
Yeah,
it's just the thing.
A lot of people
and we
can't
handle the truth, can't we?
Well, all I can say is somebody better be watching over fucking Cat Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cat Williams.
What's your take
on
Grump, what's your take on it?
What's your take on this?
On which part? On what? My take on what?
The whole dang thing.
The whole thing's coming out. Oh yeah, It's like Kurt said. I mean, now they're going to put a lot of stuff out, and we had it in the comments. It's probably still going to be a lot of redacted stuff in there, But I think there's going to be enough that folks that want to know will be able to read between the lines. You'll be able to understand what you're trying to be told. I mean, just like you said, Cat Williams, hey, he puts it out there, man. in them interviews and stuff. He ain't afraid to say what he says. And but I think what we're gonna get from the government, you know, and Jesse said it, we'll get a lot of the truth. We won't get it all, and we probably never will get it all.
Yep.
You know, but I believe there'll be enough of it though that we can figure out who did what. You know, and I tell you another thing, and you don't really have to be down a rabbit hole to know it. You just have to be old enough to know it. And of course, like I said, this was back 63. I was 5 and 6 years old back then, you know, when the Kennedy thing went down, you know, but the whole LBJ thing, you know, that whole thing with LBJ, he was a hateful man. And the best I could tell, he had a little, you know, he had them racist tendencies. He was caught. I've seen the video where he was talking, and he made the statement that if he got his way, that he would have every black voter, but he didn't say it that way. He used the N word. He would have every one of them voting Democrat for the next 200 years. Look at your voting statistics today. It obviously worked, and it obviously paid off, because that category of voters will fight you tooth and nail to vote blue. And why? They've never done nothing for them except imprison them with programs, just like they have the white folks. Imprison them with entitlement programs, strapped them up to the government for their dependence, you know. And I think a lot of people need to open their eyes and see that. And it started back in the 60s. And it's still going on today. And that's just the facts of it.
So, Viper's brought up one here. He's put, hello, fellas, what do you think about the drone I can't fucking pronounce that.
Explanation
of 45 to 47. Woohoo. So what do you reckon on that? And then we'll go into Leitch's, and Leitch says, I want Trump to open up Area 51. Leitch, if they opened up Area 51, my brother, I think they'd be coming back and putting you back in there, the old Scat Swatch. They'll be coming to fetch you and put you back in there.
Well, now they did back in, I think it was back in the midst of 2020 when the big C-19 was going on, I believe. I may be wrong on that. But they did come out and do some talking about aliens.
Oh yeah, they did.
Yep.
Yeah,
they showed video
and said that they were said that they had it, man.
Well, what do you reckon on?
Yeah.
Of course, Vipers 45 to 47 with the drone
That's right,
explanation.
yeah, you got that one.
You know, with me, I believe in different things. I believe in ghosts, which we've spoken about. I do believe there's something out there, because look at the amount of different sightings that have come up. You've had the sighting, of course, of a pyramid-shaped object over the Pentagon. Look at how the pyramids were built, the different hieroglyphs on the pyramids with the different signs of aliens. You've only got to look at the Native Americans with what they used to write with their, of course, pictures with the bigger alien kind of creatures and stuff. I reckon 45 to 47 was one of the biggest cover-ups going to see it was a drone, when drones weren't even out around that time. Drones haven't really been out until the back end of maybe 2020, 2021, when drones were starting to come out and everybody got a drone. You can't say it was an air balloon. Well, where's the evidence of the air balloon that went down? A weather balloon, as they said. I reckon there's more to it. And, of course, it is stuck in Area 51. And until they open up Area 51, we're never going to know. But what's your explanation on it? So, Jess, I'll go with you first, and then pass it along, my brother.
Yeah, I don't even know. I think there's so much technology out there that we don't know about, that they can use in whichever way they want, because we don't know about it, and they can call it whatever they want because we're ignorant about it. And just look at all the movies from 80s and 90s. How in the world do you come up with certain type of technologies and things like that to put in movies as sci-fi? I mean, your imagination is great, but how great is it? Or are these things that are just out there that we don't know about, and they're just kind of throwing it in our faces?
Gary's just brought a big one there. They will burn down
Yeah,
Area 51
probably.
before they let you see it.
Oh God, yeah,
Mm.
absolutely.
Probably.
They'd detonate that like a keg, man.
It's crazy though. Like, yeah, but it's crazy. Like, you just when you look at the sci-fi films and in the 80s and 90s for what they brought out, and look at Star Trek when they were using like intercoms and different things, which led to mobile phones. You've only got to look at The Simpsons, and I keep bringing up The Simpsons. All the different things that The Simpsons said about Trump being in power, that came true. The whole thing with, of course, the COVID being in a box and that getting out. You've only got to look at different things, and like Gary said, Star Trek flip phones. Exactly, Gary, flip phones. It's a crazy thing when you look what is really hidden. Was the alien topped when they did the Alien and they were opening up the Alien live on TV? Was that a stage thing, or was it a proper alien when they were doing the autopsy on it? You've got to look at stuff like that, and I think it's a crazy one. But of course, Matthew, what's your take on Area 51 and different things?
Man, I don't know. It would take a lot of arrogance on the part of a human being to think that we were the only people that God created.
There you go, brother.
Beyond that, the government is always trying to pull one over us. I mean, it's just the way they are. All because of what we've talked about already. They want to control us.
Oops.
So
much for that.
So I just don't think. I don't think it's any shock if it all comes out that there's aliens and that they're hiding shit from us.
Yeah.
Good. What do you reckon?
I think that the information's out there. I just don't think. I don't think an event big enough has happened where the general population has pointed their attention to it. You got the minority out there, all of us being some of those that look at this stuff and read about it, ask questions about it. But I guess in the general population and these, I don't want to say the younger generation, but the people out there, if it hasn't affected their life, I think sometimes they think, it doesn't affect me, so why should I care about it? And
right,
it's sad it's sad that's where we're at. But I think that's partly where we're at. I mean, if you look hard enough, you're going to find the information. I know. I mean, it's been over 30 years since I've been out of the military, and I just spent a short time in the military. But there are so many things that happen in the military that nobody knows about, and it still happens every single day. You don't know about it, but unless you're there and have seen it or experienced it, there's stuff that happens and you don't know about it.
You don't know what you don't know.
Come on.
That's right.
Our resident conspiracy theorist. What do you reckon about Area 51?
Yeah, man, that's you in a deep one right now. I tell you. I mean, when you go back and look at the pyramids, pyramids are in several different places around the world, across the world. Let me phrase that right.
There's more. There's more that they found.
And these pyramids,
they've even got a pyramid grump in the Antarctic. They found a pyramid buried in the Antarctic.
Yeah. And they claim there may be one under what's the Bermuda Triangle. They claim there may be one at the bottom there. But the thing of the pyramids is you need to look at the way they are aligned with the stars and the constellations. Just take a look into that one.
Mm-hmm.
And of course,
Yep.
that is going to lead you into questioning, or it did me anyway. How can we be spinning on a ball, hurling through space, and slamming through the infinite galaxy at umpteen thousand miles an hour? We don't feel a thing. Water on the surface of the earth don't prove it. How would these things line up day after day, night after night, if we were doing all that moving? And you look at the hieroglyphics that are on, that they find from these different civilizations, none of them depict us being on a round spinning ball, moving. Everything
We've gone down that bigger rabbit hole.
Here we
Well,
go.
I mean, it all ties together, though. See, that's the thing. It all ties together. And another thing to look at is some of the structures that you can find all over the world. Huge, monstrous. Why you build an 18-foot tall door for a 6-foot human? Who built that? You want to tell me that slaves built that? I don't think so. Tartarian civilization. Look that one up. I mean, and then as far as all them planets and stuff, that takes you into NASA, and that's a whole nother can of worms.
Oh boy.
You've only got to look at NASA and the different things with NASA when Russia was involved in some of NASA. You look at, of course, it's the Nazis. The Nazis were involved in NASA as well, and some of the different programs that they brought over.
Well, I mean, they were some of the founders. Yeah,
they were German scientists they brought over here.
Yep.
Yep. German
and where did they come
soldiers,
from?
basically.
Yeah. What period of time did they come over here from? Yep.
Yeah. It's crazy.
That's it.
It's crazy, and I just want to say, something. We talk about these different subjects, but one of the biggest ones that happened yesterday, and I hope in my generation we never see it again. And for everybody, of course, it was the 80th anniversary of the liberation of Auschwitz yesterday, and a lot of the prime ministers were there. Of course, a lot of their presidents were there, and the royal family were there. And it's crazy when you look at that. And of course, me and Grumpy were talking the other night. And the Third Reich, when the Third Reich did their book, there's also another book that's come out. And it was about America and basically the uprise of the Fourth Reich. And the Fourth Reich is supposed to be, there's still the Nazi power in the United States that's underground. And this was going to be the next movement, and they were waiting for the uprise. I hope and pray that it never happens. And I've done a lot of research in history on the Reich and different things because I studied World War I and World War II. And it's crazy. And like I say, to all the survivors out there and for the soldiers that did the liberation, thank you, because we couldn't live under a rule of that. And it's crazy. And a lot of people lost their lives. And yes, we remember it. So basically, these things do not happen again in this world. But what do you reckon about the rumor there's the royal family are all lizard people? What do you reckon on that one?
Y'all going deep tonight.
I know, Christ almighty, man. Wow.
Go on, Grump. What do you reckon? Is the royal family lizard people?
Good possibility. I won't rule it out.
I wouldn't rule it out.
No, I won't rule it out.
I wouldn't rule a lot of things out on that. What about you, Kurt? Do you reckon the royal family's lizard people?
I can't speak to that, brother. I don't. That's. I'm hanging on by a thread here, man. I'm trying to keep up with all this.
I don't know if they're lizard people, but that's a family tree that doesn't fork. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
That's,
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
Well,
exactly.
that's
you
all
think
I'm saying.
you even think about that?
Yeah.
Just look at, of course, Philip. Philip was German descendant of the Nazis and married his own cousin. So you've only got to look at it. How
Yeah.
fucked up's that
UK,
family? And
the
then you look at it
Alabama
as
of the
well.
world.
You look at it as well. Harry's supposed to be involved in some of these sex tapes that were at P Diddy parties. So wait
Yeah.
until that shit drops. That's going to be another royal family member that's going to be dropped in this
Harper's in
shit.
the camp. He
And
won't really that.
it's great. It's crazy.
Yes.
It is crazy. And there's a lot that we can talk about going
Don't
down the
ask me
rabbit
where I
hole,
went.
because you think there's a lot of stuff down that rabbit hole where we go, and it's just what we do. Chat about different things, and you know something. It's great when we do this and have these kind of little shows. But of course, I'm enjoying my cigar. My cigar's playing good, and I know the rest of the us are enjoying it. And next week, of course, we're going to be sitting again. It's going to be the Loons, and then we've got some really great guests lined up as of next month. And of course, you can check out the dates. You can, and as you all know where to go anyway, it's on the screen, so you know where to go and find it if you want to check out the dates of who we've got coming.
Yep.
And of course, we are going to be doing the phone line. We're going to get that sorted. I know I've been carping on about it and saying we're going to get it done. We've had a couple of technical issues, and we will be getting it sorted, and they'll be back. They will, so we will be getting them all sorted. And you'll be able to phone in. You'll be able to ask the guests a question, and you know something. Let's just have a bit of a recap so far. I know, of course, next week we're going to be in February, but what do you reckon of this month so far with what we've done and the guests that we've had so far? Like, of course, with Bryce from Silent Hero, of course, last week we had Joe from Chilling Moose. So, Matthew, I'm going to go with you on this one first. What do you reckon this month so far with what we've done?
Yeah, man. Great way to start the year, I think. We had 2 good guests this month. We've got a couple good guests coming next month. I think we're gonna roll right through this year and make the people who do tune in happy to see what we have to put out, and I think it's gonna be a good time.
Yeah. Of course, Jess, what do you reckon, my brother, of this year?
Oh yeah.
What we've
I
been
mean,
doing
I
so far?
think so far we've started out, on a great pace, with the guests coming in, and I think here in the next couple months, everybody's going to be very happy with what we got coming.
I think personally, March, they ain't going to know what's at them because we've got 4 guests in March, and April
Yeah.
is already shaping up great with what we've got coming.
Yep.
Kate, what do you reckon so far this month, my brother, with what we've done?
I think we've started off with a great year so far. I've really enjoyed the 2 guests that we had. Bryce was awesome with Silent Hero. I really enjoyed the guests we had last week. And I mean, this show has been awesome. We started off with the promiscuity of the early 90s and we went all the way to Area 51. So, I mean, what more can you ask for?
We sure covered a lot of ground, that's for sure.
That's right.
Grumpy, what do you reckon so far this year and this month?
Hey. Well, echoing all over the place. But I hit something that'll go and knock me out. But this year has started off really good. Oh, it's hard to go on with it. Knowing the guests coming, it's only gonna get better. You know.
Yep.
Tonight's show, yeah, thoroughly enjoyed that. You get in my wheelhouse. And the last thing.
Yeah, go on.
Last thing I'll say about it, is that as far as the moon landings, Stanley Kubrick admitted it on his deathbed. And there's a reason that there's 52 nations that signed a treaty not to do anything with Antarctica. You're not going below the 60th parallel. You'll get turned around.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
But look forward to the
You know,
rest of the shows because it only gets better from here.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I will tell you,
stronger
of course.
drinks.
if I can add one thing, I really enjoy. I mean, I love the guests, but I really enjoy these episodes. And yeah, we can sit here and have fun between us, all night. But I really enjoy the interaction that we're getting with the people that are joining us, the comments.
Yes.
So just thank you. We really appreciate you all being here with
No
us.
lurch.
Lich,
Don't make it
No,
Lich, if
Lord.
you want to pitch, I'll send you
Oh,
a picture on
Lord.
Snapchat.
Hey.
He's in
None of
the
that.
X and DMs. You better watch him. Yeah, if we went, why
Well,
can't we
you
go
know-
back?
you know some-
Exactly.
you
Ain't
know
nothing there.
you
Why
know
go back?
something? This year is shaping up to be a good year with what we've got coming. And of course, we did do an episode of The Legends, so Smoke Beyond the Mat, and keep an eye
Yep.
out for that because we are going to be doing more. And we're going to be talking about
Yeah.
different legends. We're going to be talking about the territories as well. And then me and Matthew,
Yeah.
we're also going to be doing a recap on WWE and TNA and AEW.
Man, I haven't
And we've
even
got some
seen this
guests.
week's Raw yet.
We've got some guests coming
Slacking.
from in the wrestling industry that are going to be coming. So keep an eye out
We'll
for that
see.
because that's going to be interesting. He says, and you know something, of course, we aren't going to be live in maybe September until the back end of the week because there's something coming up. I'm not going to say too much, but we're going to be doing a show. It's going to be an interesting show with what we've got coming. And you're going to be in for a shocker. Let me put it that way. You're going to be in for a shocker. What you're going to see on that show because no one knows what's coming. And some fantastic things. You know something? We've got, of course, the highlights going up at the PCA. We're what's going to be going on in New Orleans, and we're going to be talking about that. So keep your eyes open for that in April because we will be talking about that. And let's see what this year brings with new cigars and what new cigars we try and with new guests. And like we say, we do appreciate everyone that watches, tunes in. Please, if you've not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe on YouTube. Please hit that notification button so you know when we go live every week, which of course is 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Pacific. And of course, if you're in England, midnight in England, we do appreciate all the loves and everything. And if you want to grab a Cigar Loons t-shirt for a loved family member or with Valentine's Day coming up, if you got a cigar lover, that's your, of course, husband or wife and they enjoy cigars and you want a t-shirt, then you know where to go. Go and check out where it says in the comments down the bottom. And you know something, we thank you again for tonight and joining in. And for everyone on Instagram, thank you. For everyone on Rumble, thank you. And also sitting here on YouTube. And I'm just reading the comments. So basically, Harry put, Harry 1938, who filmed them leaving the moon? He must not have been doing well by now.
That right there.
Great comment there on Instagram.
Oh boy.
Well, like I say, we will be live, of course, next week. And on the 28th of the month, next month, we're going to be sitting down and we're going to do the live review of VP Carrillo, the last story. So we're all going to be smoking the last story, and we're all going to come out with what we taste, and then there's going to be a blog written about it, and we're going to do a blog about it, and it'll go over, of course, the different taste notes that Grumpy got, Kurt, Matthew, Jesse, and myself. You know where grab us. Of course, if you want to grab us on Instagram, you can grab me at Rocky_cigar_and_pipe_reviewer. I know it's a big frigging thing to put in. If you want to catch Kurt, you can get Kurt, of course, at Cigar Piper. If you want to get Grumpy, then Grumpy_cigar_preacher. If you want to get Matthew, of course, Vitola _and_proof. And if you want to get Jesse, you nickname it Tobacco G Sticks, which is easy when you think about all the underscrolls. But yeah, that's where you can get us, and you can check out the content that we're bringing out. And we're bringing out different ones, of course. Matthew with cigars and different bourbons and whiskies, of course. Check out my different cigar posts. You can check out Kurt's, you can check out Jesse's and stuff. And we hope you've enjoyed tonight. And like we say, one of my biggest things, fight for your rights. Because if you don't fight for your rights to smoke a cigar, it's going to be taken from us. And it's going to be an absolute biggest impact to the world, especially with a country like Nicaragua, Honduras, of course, Dominican, as they lose their livelihoods. And it's not just one person, it's a family generation. When you think it's generation after generation after generation. And also for what the companies do for them with the different schoolings, the different healthcare packages and different things that they do for them. It'd be a big loss to the world if that happens. And we've got to just keep fighting. So go and support, of course, Cigar Rights of America. Go and support Cigar Rights of the world if you can. And go and support them places, because they do a lot of fighting for us so we can enjoy this and so we can sit. But for me, stay smoky. Kurt?
Great show, guys. I really enjoyed it. I really appreciate the audience participation. We started off with a work tonight. We rapidly descended into a shoot, but man, I really enjoyed it. So till next time, smoke them if you got them.
Matthew?
Hey, thank y'all for hanging out with us tonight and giving us your comments and feedback. We love it. Cheers, everybody, and don't start none, won't be none.
Jesse?
Yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next week. And keep them lit.
And then we'll go, of course, to our resident preacher, Grumpy.
Hey, guys. I appreciate everybody that's been in here with us tonight. You made it a great show with the interaction. I thoroughly enjoy that. We all throw it around each other, and have fun with it. But it is good to know that other folks will discuss it with us. Appreciate you guys. And Matthew, the one thing you said a while ago, I thoroughly agree with. It would be very arrogant of us to think we were the only ones that were ever created. You're exactly right.
Mm-hmm.
I love you. Jesus loves you. But if he's not driving the bus, pull it over. Get out the seat. Let Jesus take the wheel. It's old Grump. I'll catch you next time.
Yeah, we'll catch you next week. Like we say, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Pacific, and of course 12 a.m. in England on YouTube, Instagram, and Rumble.com. See you next week.
From the depths of the internet, my podcast did arise. A trio of loons with cigars in their eyes. They've invaded the world with their smoky surprise. The Cigar Loons, they're oh so wise. Lunatic invaders of the cigar world, spreading smoke and laughter, their stories unfold. From the finest lips to the wildest tales, the Cigar Loons never fail to prevail. With their witty banter and infectious glee, they've captured hearts, you see. They're more than just smokers, they're a family, united by cigars, a brotherhood free. Invaders of the cigar world, spreading smoke and laughter, their stories unfold. From the finest lips to the wildest tales, the Cigar Loons never fail to prevail. They've got the knowledge, the passion, the flair, a podcast powerhouse beyond compare. and join the affair. The cigar loons are always there. Lunatic invaders of the cigar world, spreading smoke and laughter, their stories unfold. From the finest lips to the wildest tales, the cigar loons never fail to prevail.